Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for another general overview and mobile demo webinar. My name is Michaela Underdahl and I'm Nimble's community manager, and I will be walking you through the entire application today. We will go through the mobile app. I will also demo the beta of our mobile app that is going to be coming out in the next few months. And we will also go through our Microsoft Teams integration that was just launched and announced. Before we get started, I want to make sure that, because I know that we have some people that are completely new to Nimble, I want to make sure that we also cover what Nimble is and the value we bring, and also how are we unique in the space. So Nimble is an easy to use CRM. It works for you in Microsoft 365 and also in Google Workspace and everywhere else you work. And what do we mean by that? We are aware of the fact that most of us live in our inbox. We receive emails, we respond to emails, we communicate with prospects and customers there. We might be prospecting on various different social media profiles. We also might be prospecting on and looking for information about people on company websites and anywhere else on the web. And we also live in other applications. Maybe we have email marketing automation and email marketing system in place, like MailChimp, Marketo, HubSpot, something like that. Or we also have something for accounting like Xero or QuickBooks. So we created extensions and they work on all the main browsers, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and also Microsoft Edge. And once you install them, you will be able to use Nimble everywhere. So you can just hover over any name anywhere on the internet or in any third-party application, and we will either help you create a brand new contact record and enrich it for you by automatically looking up for information about people on the internet and also their social profiles, or we will surface an existing Nimble contact record. So then you can make any edits and set up next steps. Nimble automatically combines your contacts, communication histories, email inboxes, and calendar appointments into one place. So then when you open up a contact record, either in the main app via our extension or on our phone or inside of Microsoft Teams, you will be able to see the entire picture of the relationship. What is it that you have done with these people? What are the next steps? Who they are, what their companies are all about, where they're located, and basically any information you might need to connect with them intelligently. And Nimble is also available on both iOS and Android. Today, I will be showing you the iOS application because I'm an iOS user, but they're almost identical, and we will be launching the updates on both of these apps in the next few weeks. So let's get into the main application here. Here we are. This is Nimble's Today page. But before the Today page starts populating with data, I want to first take you into settings where I want to review everything that needs to be connected in order for you being able to really seeing everything populated on this page. So when you get started with Nimble, you'll be taken into networks and imports. And you can also come here at any point if something feels like it's not working correctly, anything you need to customize, you can click on the circle in the top right corner here and go into networks and imports. And on this page, you'll be able to connect your emails, calendars, import contacts, apply tags to them, connect your social, and so on. So let's start with connecting Office 365 or MS 365, since everybody that's on today's webinar is on this platform. So if you are MS 365 user, good news, we have a one-button connector. So you can just click here, authorize Microsoft 365 here, and then you'll get the option to connect your emails, import your contacts, and also add your calendar. So then you'll just click here, do the authorization, and you'll be done. Well, actually, there will be another step that will prompt you to add a tag to your contacts import, which is very important, especially if you decide to use Nimble as a team. It's very important to do that so your tags are nice and organized and everybody on your team knows exactly what these tags mean, and then they can use them to segment your contacts using them, and then they also know who imported these people and why. So adding tags to contacts is a great way to make sure that you are keeping your database clean before you also start inviting your team or before you start importing contacts from various different places. It's always a good practice to take a piece of paper or create it in the online document of all the places where data resides. So am I thinking about importing contacts from spreadsheets into Nimble, or do I also want to download a list of my LinkedIn connections and import them into Nimble? Do I have contacts in other applications, in MailChimp or QuickBooks or any other location? And then thinking if I might have a chance to clean them up. So especially with LinkedIn, sometimes, especially when we were getting started, we probably were adding more people into our professional network than we are doing now. So we might have a lot of connections that are not necessarily connected to what we're doing now. So cleaning up the spreadsheet a little bit can contribute to cleanliness of your data. So the cleaner your data in your CRM, the more likely that you and your team will want to use it, because if you can rely on the data, then it's very likely that you won't be very successful using any CRM. So these are just few tips for getting started. So if you are not on Office 365, or if you're using a combination of these, you can also easily connect your Google accounts. So you can click here, click on Gmail, connect Gmail. With Google products, the connection requires 2 clicks, so still not too bad, but 1 extra click than for our MS365 users. So in order to connect your Google Calendar, you'll go here, and I already have it connected, so it's not showing up here, but the Google Calendar logo would be here. So now we've connected our emails and our calendars. For emails, we will go 90 days back, and then we will sync everything going forward. So then when you open up a contact record in Nimble, you'll see the history of the conversations and history on your calendars, and then everything going forward, what's scheduled on the calendar, and everything will be nicely organized in one space. So we'll review the contact record just in a second. I also want to make sure that we cover the social networks integration. So currently we directly integrate with Twitter. It's the only social platform that has open APIs. At this moment, Facebook and LinkedIn, and also Facebook and their other companies like Instagram, they decided to close their API, so they no longer allow us to directly integrate with them. So what it means is that you can still use Nimble on any of these networks via our browser extensions. So then you can just pull it up on your browser, hover over any name or highlight any name, and then we will bring up existing records or help you create brand new ones. For Twitter though, if you are using Twitter for business or personal branding, you will also be able to see all your direct messages and interactions with people on Twitter, and you'll be able to send tweets and direct messages straight from the Nimble interface. And I already covered how you can bring in contacts in bulk from LinkedIn. LinkedIn gives you the option to download the list of your connections, so you can do that in bulk. And then you can also do it individually, one by one, using the browser extension, which, for the reasons that I already covered, we highly recommend to be very selective in the way who you bring into your CRM. There should always be some sort of pre-qualification, so you really keep your database clean and you and your entire team can rely on the data that is there. You can also import data from any CSV file. So if you have spreadsheets that you're using, you can just save them as CSVs and either adjust the column names to the names of the individual fields that already exist in Nimble, or you can do it when you're importing it. So we have what we call an import wizard, so that will allow you to map the fields to the correct fields in Nimble, the columns to correct fields in Nimble, and if the fields don't exist yet, we'll give you the option to create them. And then again, you can either create data fields before you do the import or while you are in it. So that's the settings. I'm just going to see if we have any questions so far. Okay, so nothing so far. So let's go into the contact record in Nimble. So here we are on a contact record, and I already mentioned that the contact record is, its goal is to give you the entire view into the relationship with your prospects and customers, and to help you prepare for meetings and make it easy for you to find out what are the next steps, who's responsible for them. So on the left side of the contact record, you see who the person is, first name, last name, their picture, their title. We also create company records for companies, so then you can go into the company contact record, see the information that is related just to the company, and you can also see all other employees for that company. We will be automatically looking for the social profiles that your contacts are active on. So before meetings, you can click through them, see what people are talking about, what they're passionate about, look for any commonalities and anything you can bring up in the meeting to start a conversation and to show people that you have done your research and that you come into the meeting prepared and that you care. So we have this summary here that we will either automatically create from the information we find, or you always have the option to replace it with your own version of the summary about your contacts, or you can add anything and so on. We also have a great tip from one of our power users, and what he does is that when he's qualifying his prospects, he adds keywords into the bio here in the description, and he capitalizes it. So when he opens up the contact record, as he's dialing people, these keywords are jumping at him and he knows exactly what to mention on the call. And then he also uses the keywords to run segments. So I'll show you how you can create segments just in a little bit. So that's just a power user trick that I've recently learned from one of our customers. Nimble also offers privacy. So for everybody using Nimble as a team, this will be very important. So you do have the option to mark any contacts as private just to you, and you can set up other privacy groups. So you can completely customize it to your use case. This stay in touch reminder feature is really useful because the Dunbar number says that we can only successfully remember important information about around 150 people. And in order to really grow our businesses, we need to be connecting with more people than that. So this feature will allow us to set up custom reminders to ensure that we are continuously and on a regular basis touching base with the most important people in our network, and most importantly, that we don't have to remember to do so, but we'll have Nimble to remind us. So then you'll get a notification, and then people will also show up on your today page. And contacts can also be assigned to specific users and then also segmented on. If you want to add a note to a contact record, you just click on Add Note here. Notes can be searched by keywords and then will be automatically added to the right side of the contact record. If you want to log any activities, anything that has happened in the past, you can use this Log Activity button. And those activities can be tasks, to-dos, and just to make sure that everybody knows, tasks are only Nimble specific. So these will not be synced with your MS365 or Office 365 tasks. These are Nimble specific, and they will be specific to the contact records on which you are creating the task. So these will be to-dos to remind you to follow up with somebody, send them proposals, or anything like that. Events, calendar events. So depending on what calendar you want to put it on, you can just select it here, create the event name, and send people invites straight from here. If you want to log a call, you can do so here. And we also give you the option to set up custom activities in Nimble. So this can be done in settings, and it completely depends on your use case, how you want to set it up. So these are log activities here for anything that has already happened, but for anything that you want to schedule to happen in the future, you can use this schedule button. The only difference between these two buttons is basically that this is already pre-checked for the log activity thing, but if you accidentally click on that and you want to schedule something in the future, you can just uncheck that. So or vice versa. So if you're here, but then you realize that you need to log a call that happened earlier today, you can just do that here and set up the time here. Nimble also allows you to send messages straight from here. From the moment that you connect your emails to Nimble, it won't matter if you continue to email people from your email client or if you will want to do it from the Nimble interface or the mobile app or the extension. It will be automatically tracked. So this is just, this just depends on preference. So let's say I want to email John from this email that I connected to Nimble. So I'll select it. And as you can see, my signature was automatically populated. You can just copy and paste signatures in settings, and then they will be automatically added to any emails that you send from Nimble. You can also save templates and select from existing templates. So this can save you time when retyping the same message over and over again. And another fun feature, Nimble allows you to either just send it as a regular email or send it as a tracked message. And then depending on the type of notifications that you set up, you will get notified on when people are opening and clicking links in your email. So then you can take these insights and call them when they're reviewing your proposals, thinking about you, to get them at the right time. So another thing you can do on the contact record is to create a deal. So you can name the deal, set up the probability, expected close date, the amount, set up the primary contact, and add participants. So these can be internal or external. As long as these people have contact records inside of Nimble, you can add them, and then you can put it on the appropriate pipeline. We have multiple deals pipeline in Nimble, so you can create as many pipelines as you want depending on the type of product you are selling, or you can also use it to manage different initiatives. So you can use it for fundraising, you can use it for recruiting, and so on. And then you can put it into the appropriate stage, assign it to either yourself or somebody else on your team, and set up the privacy. So some deals can be totally private to you, or you can have your entire team to view and edit, or they can only view them and you'll be the only person able to make any edits to any of the deals. On the left side of the contact record, you can also see the employment history. So this is something that we have recently launched. This will allow you to, again, see a bigger picture of the person. This also allows you to associate a person with multiple companies. So if people have a side business or they really have two roles, they are an advisor to another company, or they are sitting on different boards, you can associate them with multiple company records and then also see the entire history of their employment here. So you know exactly where they're working now, but also what is it they have done in the past. The Smart Summary is really useful to look at it very quickly before your meetings to get familiar with who the people that you are engaging with are, and get a little summary on what is it that they're passionate about and or their areas on influence. Of course, we have the contact info box here as well, and we have what we call a contact discovery tool. As long as you know first name, last name, and the company the person works for, Nimble will be able to find additional information about them. When you're in trial, you'll have 25 credits to try to find the information, and then you will be able to purchase more credits. So it's $10 per additional $10 per month for additional 100 credits. Every time you run this search, we will charge you a credit. Once we find the information, we will also tell you how confident we are that we found the correct information. In the case that it shows that it hasn't been verified, we will not charge you credit. We will not deduct it from your credit, but you will still be able to test the contact information out. But because we are not able to verify that it won't bounce, for instance, we will not charge you a credit. This section shows tags. So tags are really the easiest way to organize contacts. So then you can quickly pull them up and then use our segmentation feature to further refine them. And we will cover that just in a little bit. Lead fields here, so you can completely customize these in settings so they fit your sales process. And of course, you can segment on this information as well. So on the right side of the contact record here, under interactions, you will see the entire history of the communications and calendars and everything that is scheduled to happen. If you want to jump directly into specific activities, because as you said, once you do a lot with certain person, it can become a little overwhelming. So you can jump directly into tasks, calls, or anything else. Or you can jump directly into messages here or into notes, and then you can also search by keywords here. Or if you know that there's a deal pending, it will also show up here. Under data fields, you will have the option to create up to 5 custom tabs, and under each tab, you'll be able to create as many custom fields as you want. And they can be address fields, numerical fields, text fields, and so on. So then again, you can segment on it. So it's very useful to capture any specific information about your prospects and customers. Any information you gather from them verbally, via email, via web forms, you can capture here, or it can contain any information about anything they purchase from you and when. Under files, you can upload files directly from your computer, Dropbox, Google Drive, and also Microsoft OneDrive. And when we go to contacts here, I want to cover the segmentation. And before we go into it, I want to make sure that I also show you how you can use all the other features here as well. So here we are on the main contacts page. You can either navigate here to review all your contacts, or you can go to just people, just companies, or view those that you have marked as important, meaning you clicked on this star. So the star allows you to create like a very quick VIP list of prospects or customers, or you can see contact records you recently viewed, recently edited, and so on. So let's talk about segments. As you are using our segmentation, which you can use to create targeted groups of people to outreach to using any tags, and also further refining it by any existing or custom fields. So I can also show you how it works in action. So I'm pulling up tagged group of all my clients, but I want to further refine it by, let's say, location. So I could use a city, and maybe I just say is not empty. So I want to kind of see where my clients are. So these are all the contacts that have city on their contact record, and it's actually not showing here. So this is showing columns that I used for my previous outreach. So let me configure the table to actually show the city here. So as you can see, you can pull up any field here to show. So it can be the address here, and you can customize it to the outreach that you are doing. If you want to move the columns, you can do so as well. So I could pop it here, and Nimble also gives me the option to pin some of them. So it will kind of freeze some of them, like you can freeze cells in an Excel file. So then you'll be able to just move through it and focus on the information that you're interested in. And let's say you would like to do the next steps with these people. So you can easily tag them by clicking here and applying a tag, like let's say clients in Melbourne, Australia. The thing about tags is that they will be static. So to any future Melbourne customers, you will have to manually apply the tag on their contact records. But if you decide to create a segment, the segment will be dynamic. So once a new contact record enters Nimble and they match the search criteria, they will be automatically added to a safe segment. And if you decide to share safe segment with somebody on your team, you can also easily do so by clicking on this lock button and just unlock it. So that's the difference between the tag and safe segments. Another group action you can take is to change the owner, change the privacy. You can export your data at any point, and you can also send a group message. So the difference between sending a group message from Nimble and sending it from a marketing automation system like MailChimp or something else is that these messages will be coming out of the email address you connected to Nimble. So from your Gmail or your Outlook, and the people on the list will not know they were part of a group outreach. To them, it will look like you reach out to them one-on-one. So if you really make sure that you properly segment your database and then reach out to people with really targeted messages, to them, it will look like one-on-one message. You can use this merge tag to have Nimble grab people's first names to personalize it for you. If you create a template here that you wish to save, you can do so by saving it here, or you can pull up an existing template, make any changes to it. You can see that I saved it with my old signature, so I can change it here. Before you send anything, we recommend sending a test message to yourself to make sure there are no typos. If you use attachments, that the attachments have been attached. If you use links, that the links work and that just everything looks good. And then when you save it, we will give you the insights on the clicks and opens. So you'll know exactly when was the last time people interacted with your messages, when was the last time they opened, if they opened, how many times, if they clicked any links, how many times, and then if you have notifications set up, you'll also get notified in your preferred way. So then again, you'll be able to reach out to them at the right time when they're actually thinking about you. And when we go into activities listing, this is where you can create a to-do list, or managers can use this view to report on the activities that their sales reps or other employees are doing. So you can report on how many tasks a specific employee has done in a specific time period, and you can also export this. We also give you the option to save the filter. So if you're only interested in all the calls that I have done in a specific time frame, you can save it. Michaela's calls and then quickly jump into it. And if you need to export it to either print it out or send it to somebody to prepare for a meeting, you can do so. And in deals, you'll be able to create as many pipelines as you want, go through them like this. You can also review pipelines by your team deals, or if you want to just focus on your specific deals, you can do so, or just those that have been lost, won, those that are active, or those that are stuck. So now I'm selecting those that are active, and as you can see, moving deals through the pipeline is very easy. You can just drag and drop. You can also open the deal to see the history. So I can see the entire history with all the people that are involved in this deal. So this is just Calvin in this case, but I could also review detailed information. I could move him through the funnel manually as well and make any edits here. So if anything changes, I can do so here. If I want to read a little more about who Calvin is, get a little deeper dive into my relationship with him, I can review this widget here and see our history of interactions. What is it that we have done in the past? Nimble's also suggesting other social profiles. I can see all the tags and so on. Reporting in Nimble, under this tab, you can view a dashboard and see a dashboard for all your pipelines or individual pipelines. You can create a team report or focus on a specific sales rep. Of course, you can do a specific time frame or do just the current quarter, last quarter, and so on. We also give you the option to forecast deals here and review deals history. In the next 2 months, I believe, we will be launching a complete redesign of the deals and reporting tabs. And in about 3 weeks, we are launching a leads pipeline. So you will also be able to create leads pipelines here and put leads in manually or automated using web forms. So as people are filling up your web forms, they will be getting onto your lead pipeline. So the difference will be that the lead pipelines will be designed to qualify the people before they turn into an actual opportunity. And once you do qualify them on the leads pipeline, we will have a quick little button that will turn the lead into an opportunity, into an actual deal. So that's launching very soon as well. And the last thing that I want to show you inside of the main app is the Today page. So you can see all these little boxes here. You can completely move them around and make sure that this page is designed to your liking. You can change the background, you can upload your company logo, and then if you feel like there's a widget that you don't need, you can hide it. You can also move it. It's very easy like this, and this way you can make sure that the page is customized to your specific role in your company. So if you are in sales or if you're the business owner, maybe you would want to have all these sales related widgets in the front. I like to have my calendar first so I can see everything that's on my to-do list that day. I also like to see all my tasks and also email tracking. So I can see who's opening my emails from where, and then I can email them right back. I can give them a call and so on. So you also have the option to duplicate widgets. So let's say I wanted to also see our company calendar here. I can either select it from here, or I could duplicate the widget and see my calendar here, and then our, let's say, marketing calendar in another widget. So again, it depends on the role you play in your company, and this page is supposed to help you figure out exactly what are the most important things on your to-do list that day, who are the people that are due for a follow-up that you set up the stay in touch reminder with, and also what's going on with your pipelines and what deals might need your attention, how much money is in your sales pipeline in total, what are the deals that your team is working on, and so on. So now I would like to show you how you can use Nimble outside of Nimble. So Nimble will plug directly into your Outlook. So when you're receiving emails in Outlook, once you add the add-in here, you can bring it up here. And if Nimble already recognized the contact, it will show the contact record here. Okay, here we go. It just had to wake up. So it found me, found my contact information, so I could review everything that is in Nimble. I can make any changes. Manually, I can also create notes straight from here, tasks for myself or somebody else on my team to help me follow up with my prospects and customers. I can create deals from here as well. Nimble will also automatically plug into the browser version of Outlook. So if you ever use that, Nimble will be available under the 3 dots here. So you can open it up like this. And if you don't need it, you just close it. So as you can see all the information that already exists in Nimble. If the person is not in Nimble, you'll be able to create a contact record for them here as well. And then for our Gmail users, you'll be able to open up an email like this. And I already have Nimble, I already have Kim in Nimble, so I can open up her existing contact record. But if I didn't have her, I could use this Build Live Profile button for her. And then you can see that this is all the information that Nimble has been able to find about her without me having to do any Googling, searching, and data entry. So I can just add her with one click and then immediately set up the next steps, put a tag on her, and so on. And then, as you can see, Nimble also discovers duplicates. So next time I can just merge them. And this helps me to keep my database nice and clean. Another place where Nimble works is basically anywhere on the web. So I'm going to show you how it works in Nimble. As you install it to the browser of your preference, you'll be able to just click on the Nimble button here and then hover over any hyperlink name, and Nimble will create contact records for you. So it found Dave on Twitter. This is Dave, the same profile picture. So again, look how much information Nimble found for me. So then I can either still just use this information to decide if I want to add Dave to my Nimble account, but he looks like a great guy to connect with, so I'm going to add him, and then I could set up next steps. I could email him straight from here. I could make changes to any custom fields. I could upload any files and make any other changes on the contact profile. So I could also do so because people tend to hang out with people like them. So I can use it for a little bit of spying, prospecting, or I can go directly onto somebody's profile, pull up the extension this way, highlight the name, whoops, and then Nimble will help me create the contact record for the person. So here's John. He was found on LinkedIn, and I can add him to Nimble and set up the next steps. And this will work anywhere else. So it will work on Twitter, Facebook, any company website, and so on. So here, for any of you that are using Twitter lists, we also have a Twitter list import. So a lot of people are using Twitter lists to basically stay focused on Twitter, because Twitter can be a really messy place. So You can create lists and really just focus on the people that you want to be focusing on Twitter. And luckily for us, a lot of people have done this work before us, so we can just go and look for Twitter lists that other people curated. And as we find them, we can either bring these people into Nimble one by one by hovering over them, or we can use our Twitter list import to bring them in bulk. And then you can use it to find additional information, properly qualify them, and start the outreach. And before we get to the mobile stuff, this is how you can use the Microsoft Teams integration. So let's see how you can use it. So I created a calendar event here. I'm going to open it up, and let's say I'm in a meeting with somebody. You can add the Nimble Contacts app here, like this. You'll have to be logged into the email for your Microsoft Teams will have to be same as for your Nimble account, and then you'll be able to see the insights on the people that you are meeting with. You'll be able to take notes directly during the meeting and save them to Nimble. And you can also send follow-ups straight from Teams without having to leave the Teams interface. So if you have back-to-back meetings, you can send the information back to Nimble and then take care of it later. So that's the Microsoft Teams integration. And now let's take a look at the mobile app. So this is the currently available mobile application. As you can see, under the agenda tab, I can see who are all the people that I am meeting with today. So I can quickly jump into their profiles and see who they are, why am I meeting with them. I can see if I have any tasks. I can search for any contacts, and I can do so manually. I can also click here and then jump into this menu, into my safe searches, into my safe segments, or I can review all my tags. So even if you are on the go, you can access all your information about your contacts from your mobile phone. Same about deals. You can see all your deals, all your pipelines, get more familiar with the details about the individual pipelines. What is it that's pending? What are the next steps in the certain opportunity, the history of interactions, and so on. Under More, here, you'll be able to go into Settings, set up a sync with your phone contacts. So this can run once, or it can be set up to run periodically, totally up to you. And of course, you'll have the option to add a tag to this. And you can set up notifications. So another important things to do on your mobile app. And now I want to show you what the new contact record is going to look like on the updated version. So we are making it look more like the contact record inside of the main app and on the extension. We are also making it more contact focused. So as you can see, the picture is bigger. And we also want to make sure that you don't have to make too many clicks. So we have this quick nav at the top. So some of the things that our customers do the most is that they need to find out what was the last thing that they've done with their contacts. So you can quickly review the history of interactions with them. You can also review data fields, add any specific information about them, review what their company is all about, review their social profiles, any social signals, look into their bio, and you can also review any files that have been attached. You can also add them from your phone. And you can also, of course, go into the individual contact records, the social media profiles to find what is it that they're talking about and so on. And you can add notes, schedule, log anything that has already happened. So if you're just met with somebody, you want to make sure that you add the note about the meeting and also log it as such. You can do it straight from the mobile app before you get to your computer, and you can send a follow-up email immediately after that as well, and also create a sales opportunity. So now let me review questions. So we have a question about the pricing. So great question. Nimble costs $25 per month per user. If you pay annually, it goes down to $19 per month per user. So these are the two pricing structures right now. So very, very simple. We also have a question about the group messaging. Yes, so there are, and about limits. So there are limits. Great question. So the current send limits are set up to 300 per day per user. And because the group messages are being sent from your own emails that you are connecting to Nimble or your email providers, we want to make sure that you don't get flagged as a spammer. So we also always want to make sure that you have enough of a cushion to send individual emails from Outlook or Gmail. So on the regular plan, you will be able to send up to 100 messages per day per user. It will reset at midnight, and you can upgrade to up to 300. So that was a great question. Let me know if there's anything else you would like me to answer. And you can always email us at care@nimble.com as well. So before we finish up here, I want to make sure that you also know that we do these webinars on a weekly basis. Next week, we will be focusing on segmentation, group messaging, and custom fields. The following week, we'll do another general overview and mobile overview, just like we did today. The week after that, we will focus on contact cleanup strategy. So if you want to learn how you can use Nimble to keep your database clean, and also how to clean it up after you've messed it up, that's a great webinar to attend. All of our webinars are recorded, so you can always register and then receive the recording, or you can keep an eye on our YouTube channel as well. On July 22nd, we are also hosting a webinar with Kim Beasley about email marketing strategies that you can use to cultivate your clients and build relationships with them. So that's a great one to attend. And on September 16th, we will be hosting a webinar with a PR specialist, Sabrina Horn, who have just published her book about Make It, Don't Fake It, and the importance of authentic leadership. So that's going to be in September, and you can register for all our webinars at this link. We will also share the link in our follow-up emails, and when you go on our homepage, it's under resources as well. And we have a special offer for new users. If you're in trial currently, you can email us at care@nimble.com. We will be more than happy to extend your trial so you can test out Nimble for 30 days. Or if you are completely new thinking about using Nimble, just go to nimble.com/offer/webinar30, and it will be automatically created as a 30-day trial. So let me check on any questions. I think that's it for today. So I would like to thank you for attending. And again, if there's anything that comes to mind, we are always available at care@nimble.com. So thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your day.